Summer's heating up, Indy. Is your AC ready? At LCS Heating and Cooling, we don't follow a corporate playbook. We follow the needs of our neighbors.
We are locally owned and fully invested and always here for your comfort needs when it matters most.
Right now, get a professional AC deep cleaning for just $89. Real value from a team you can trust. Contact us today to discover the difference with LCS Heating and Cooling. LCS Heating and Cooling, launching the way to lasting comfort solutions.
Outside the Forecast on WTHR Plus is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.
Hey everyone, 13 meteorologist Sean Ash here on this week's Outside the Forecast, where we're going to focus on how summer has behaved so far here in central Indiana, where it's going to go here in the next week and a half, and a couple interesting stats that we'll share with you. To date, we're up to now 24 days, 90 degrees plus. That eclipsed what we had last year and above average for a typical summer, which is 20. And as we look at the latest data, we're going to tack on several more before we get to the 20th of August. Let's run down the numbers for you. To date, and we're using through August 11th, the fourth warmest summer on record. When you take the average high temperature, it's in the top 15. When you take the average low, and that is definitely what we felt much of the summer, that's the third warmest average lows to date. In terms of rainfall, we're about 1.5 inches to locally 2 inches below average, despite the fact of how humid this summer has been. And that is really a key stat for the summer of 2025. Run down the daily high temperatures for the month of July. You can see we had a couple of heat waves built in here. You see those streaks of 90-degree temperatures, and the one that really got us there was from the 23rd through the 30th of July. Talked about the high temperatures for the month of July. The low temperatures, very notable because, again, how humid the air has been. Low temperatures several days where we had lows 70 degrees and higher. And that is definitely the air you can wear when we accumulate the hours with dew points at or above 70 degrees to date. This puts us in the top 6. And the average to date is 214 hours. We got 4 times more than that. So you can see here through the 11th of August. Very humid, and not only here locally, but over a good portion east of the Rockies has been, for the month of July, dew point temperatures in the 5 to 7 degree range above average. I mean, we typically get humid during July because of the corn, but you can see just how widespread this has been, with the exception being the far southwestern part of the country, which is typically dry in nature anyways. And as we move forward, it is going to remain hot. It is going to remain very, very humid into the next 7 to 10 days. Now, I mentioned how muggy it's been. There's been some streaks of above average precipitation across the corn belts of Iowa and northern Missouri, and a little bit of parts of Indiana. Well above average precipitation there you can see over Montana. Meanwhile, once you get into the Mountain West and the Southwest, been very, very dry, where the fire season has really cranked up quickly. Now, temperature outlook for the 17th through the 21st of August. It is very likely to be above average. It is very likely to have several days at or above 90 degrees, and we will watch closely. Possibly could be some of the hottest air of summer yet to come, staring us down here over the next 7 to 10 days, especially in that August 17th through the 21st time frame. So something to keep in mind here. We've got plenty of summer left. Now, something that kind of snuck in here during the summer so far, so we've tacked on a couple of tornadoes. they were very weak. In fact, they were out in the middle of fields, so there wasn't any damage. So in terms of an EF rating, they get an EFU. We've had 3 of those so far, but most importantly, our yearly total for tornadoes now is up to 59. And as we look back historically, the most we've ever had in a year was the 72 back in 2011. The 59 this year will give us the second most tornadoes on record. Not necessarily the strongest, but it's more of a numbers game. So found that very interesting for this year. Now, I want to give you an update on the Atlantic hurricane season. Just recently had a new named storm, Aaron. So that puts us up to 5 named storms. And of course, we haven't reached the peak of hurricane season, but we will definitely see in the coming days and in the coming weeks, we are definitely going to see an increase in activity. And this time of year, we typically start to focus off the coast of Africa. This is the area that gets very likely where we get named storms, not only named storms, but also hurricanes, just coming, those waves coming off of Africa. There's a lot of untapped energy in terms of sea surface temperatures, and it has been very hot, so we've got plenty of juice that's ready to rip and roar here. Also in the far western Atlantic. So these are the zones that we typically look for development of tropical systems. Now, do want to let you know that when we get these waves that come off of Africa, you may see a lot of information on social media sometimes. Hey, this thing's coming off Africa. Watch out for the continental U.S. Well, generally, you got to just take a wait and see approach. This shows you those waves coming off Africa typically would take 10 to 12 days before they would impact the U.S. mainland. And when you get that far out in time, there's so much that can happen. Do they stay south? If so, maybe it's not our problem. A lot of times, depending on where that wave comes off of Africa, sometimes they will start to curve to the north here. So when you start to see social media information on a system that's way, way out here, you need to just kind of park the brakes on that, okay? We will always watch it. Once we get into the Dominican, Puerto Rico, in that area, then we're talking about a 4 to 6 day window for potential impact. But even in that zone there, a lot can happen. We have seen it before. Now, as we get later in the season, and we saw this last season, sometimes you got to be careful too with those systems that develop over the southern Gulf. Get a little later into August, get into September. But when you start to get into Cuba and the Bahamas, then you're talking about a 2 day window, and that's a completely different situation. But already this season, we've had a couple of bouts of social media frenzy for systems that are frankly way out in the Atlantic Ocean. So just trying to share that info with you. But again, we do fully expect that the hurricane season is going to pick up in activity as it typically does this time of year. If you got travel plans to Florida along the Gulf Coast, make sure you're following the forecast. If it becomes a big situation, we will be on top of it for you here on 13 Plus. So that's the latest and greatest from our summer 2025. It's going to be interesting. We'll do a recap when the summer's over, which, by the way, meteorologically speaking, meteorological summer is June 1st to the last day of August. So we'll do another recap, kind of dive into these numbers. But right now, it has definitely been one of the more humid summers we've had here in central Indiana, with many more days in the 90s. Thanks for checking us out here on Outside the Forecast.
Outside the Forecast on WTHR Plus is sponsored by LCS Heating and Cooling.